So I've been extremely addicted to Black Ops 3 Zombies lately, so I figured I'd make a video on it. And I feel like getting roasted for my opinion today. And what better place to do these than YouTube? Maybe Twitter, but I'd rather not have a Twitter account as long as I can. So today I'm going to talk about one thing I like and dislike from every Black Ops 3 original map, so none of the Chronicles. But I might if people want more things to get angry at. I'll try and throw in stuff that hasn't already been said a ton of times about these maps. For example, I probably won't talk about how I don't like that there's a bunch of dragons and zombies when talking about Gored Trophy. I will, but that won't be the main point. Because I think literally everyone has said something about that. Either positive or negative. With that out of the way, Shadows of Evil. God, I can't get enough of that round transition. I feel like that's all I need to show for why I love this map. It has a very unique aesthetic of a city in the 1920s. Despite the 1920s setting being Mob of the Dead, it's nice to see it again in this map. And also Mob of the Dead isn't in Black Ops 3, sadly, unless you mod it. And despite being at the lowest graphics setting for my potato computer, it still pops being in a bright, vibrant city. I do like jazz as well, which solidifies my pick for what I love. As far as what I hate, this fucking wall, because of how jank the exo movement is in this game, which granted, I might be spoiled because of Titanfall 2's movement, but I swear, every single time I try and jump onto there, I get a mini heart attack every single time I had to go across. Because at any moment, I might just not attach to the wall and I fall and lose everything. Or it might just end the run if I don't have quick revive. Like, you can't skip it either, because that's where Pack-a-Punch is. And every time I want to go to Pack-a-Punch, I have to jump onto this fucking wall and pray that I don't fall. I feel like anyone who has played this map has probably died to this at least once. Now next we have a fan favorite amongst almost all players, the Giant. Also a vibe. I'm going to come out of the gate with a controversial opinion. I don't find myself coming back to this map.
It's the biggest piece of dog shit.
I get that there's a history behind this map and is beloved by many, especially those who played World at War and first experienced this, but as someone who comes from Black Ops 3, I just find it too easy. And maybe that's because it's Black Ops 3 and you have like extra movement and stuff, but even then the map is simple. Like, after getting Pack-a-Punch, you just roll the box until you get the Wonder Waffle, and cool, I set for the rest of the game. I mean, yeah, there's the extra perk and the Annihilator on this map, but I just find the other maps more appealing to come back to. I think it's because I like putting in the extra bit of effort into finding some of the other stuff, like Shield Pars, the DG4, or even the Apothecary Servant from Shadows. It gives me some extra tools that I can use for killing zombies. I know some people like that simplicity, but I'm on the opposite side where I don't mind looking up a guide to learn how the map works and getting these extra weapons. Mr. Waffle Waffles has saved me hours. It's just satisfying to survive long enough to get this stuff. And plus it just gives you an extra sense of like strength when you get these things. Although this map has something that none of the others have, at least none of the Black Ops 3 originals, the Wonder Waffle. It has to be one of my favorite weapons of all time, even if it isn't one of the strongest. It's just the unique like design of the weapon. Like it looks like none other weapon in the game. The closest thing I could find is Seven's weapon from Deadlock. That's like the closest thing I've ever seen to a similar design to it. And the sound effects are just perfect. I mean, just listen to it. Now we have probably one of my favorite maps of all time, and many others, Der Eisendrache. What hasn't already been said about this map? It's basically well known in the community that this is the map that many consider to be a masterpiece, up there with Origins and Doris. If I was able to pick one thing about this map to highlight, it's absolutely the freedom that the player has when they play this map. And what I mean by that is that you can really kind of choose how you want to play this map. You can play it like some of the older maps where you just open the map, get power, pack a bunch of your weapons, and use traps as your way of high rounding. However, you can go a step further with the bows. If you want to just sit in the corner, use the lightning bow. If you want easy build, wolf bow. If you want to do the traditional training but want a bit more of a reliable weapon besides the wolf bow, because sometimes you can't really kill everything with it, there's the fire bow. And if you want a unique weapon that doesn't work like the others and you want to be a special snowflake, there's the void bow. Ignore the fact that I still don't know how to make it despite how many times I played this map. Admittedly, I actually had a hard time coming up with something I disliked about it. That is until I remembered that this map has a box. I know I just said that there's freedom in this map, except for the people who just want to hit the box. Like, in every other map, there's a weapon that you want to look for. Like, even Zetsu has the two, like, mini pistol shotguns. Like, it has that, and it's really freaking strong. Or some of them have unique wonder weapons that are in the box. But this map doesn't really have that. You really only have the bows for high rounding without traps. And that's because the only wonder weapon that's in the box is the ray gun. This map really could have done nicely with the ray gun Mark II. Maybe we give some incentive into actually going for the box. Or maybe just a unique weapon that's only on this map. Kind of like Zetsu where it has that. Or even the Gored Trophy little like dual wield mini crossbow thingies. They kind of suck, but they're different, I guess. It actually gives some incentive to going for the box. On this map, you really don't need it, except for like the first time like you get to the box just to get a point gun. Maybe it's because it didn't bring the ray gun Mark II because it kills panzers like they're twigs. But I mean, it really makes it so you have to get the bows or you have to go with the death trap, which there's a little bit of variability what you can do, but still, I kind of wish there was another wonder weapon in the box. Oh god, I have to talk about Zetsu Machina. I have plenty of things to say about this map, both good and bad, but I can only pick one. This map is one of those maps I have the strongest feelings of I love this, but I hate this type of feeling. It's most divisive for me. For example, I love the voice lines in this map. It's when they really started to have more interesting voice lines to listen to while playing. One of my personal favorites being Nikolai being really careful on 115 water. It's very funny to hear it every time.
Must remember, water with 115 is not for drinking. Water with 115 is not for drinking. Water with 115 is not for drinking.
But even with that, I also have strong feelings of hate every time I need to build 20 different things just to play the map. You have to build Pack-a-Punch, build the Wonder Weapon, build the upgrade from the Wonder Weapon, build the shield, build the altar for the skull, build a stable relationship with my girlfriend, build a house, build a grass-filled keyboard so people can stop telling me to touch grass. I think you get the idea by now. I know other maps also have a lot of things to build. Shadows is the first thing I think of. But with this map, all the steps feel like I really need to go out of my way to complete them. Or I have to keep a zombie alive for like 30 minutes just to get some of these done. Or I had to build one thing in order to build another thing. It just makes the map feel really slow for me. I know I said I'll try to say more interesting things, but this is the exception because it's the biggest glaring issue with this map, and it's what makes me not want to play this map sometimes. Now, we have quite an interesting map with Gored Trophy. This is the map I probably have the least playtime in because I always thought the idea of having dragons and zombies fell out of place, so I never really got into it. Despite that, when I did load up this map, I did have fun with it, particularly with the Gauntlet of Siegfried. Like, you get a Widow Dragon to burn enemies and fire as they deserve. Not only that, but if you let him fly, you get what is basically Bowser's lunging punch from Bowser's Inside Story. This insta-kills all the way up to the 40s, which makes this weapon feel so fun to use, and it feels so strong. Like, it's the same feeling that I get when I use the Keeper's Sword in Shadows of Evil. It's so much fun. Other than the fact that there are dragons, which would be something that I would say if it's like the first thing I think of when I say something I don't like about this map. Other than that, I do find the map to be a little convoluted at points. Maybe just because I haven't played the map as much as the other ones, but if I didn't have the signs that pointed me to where particular spots on the map are, I feel like I would get lost so easily. Like, I don't think I could tell you the exact route to get to the room with the yellow Groff module terminal. I don't remember what the room is called, but I know what I'll probably have gameplay and footage of the background of what room it is. I still enjoy this map despite that, though. It only has a few issues for me. Now for the final map, Revelations. Now, this might also be a hot take. I actually like the premise of having a bunch of maps mashed together, especially since some of the maps that you go to unexplored areas, like the upper floor of Kino with all in the theater, and behind where Pack-a-Punch usually is in Shangri-La. The concept itself could work for what is basically the final map for the crew, and no, I would not acknowledge Black Ops 4 as a game that continues the story. I refuse to believe that Black Ops 4 is still zombies. Maybe some people wouldn't have antagonized it as much if the sections of the map were more inspired by the maps rather than a literal Control-C, Control-V. In that same subject, I hate what they did for the Easter egg. I haven't mentioned the Easter egg on any of these, but this one in particular strikes a chord within me of how much I hate it. Like, it's because that there's just so much wasted potential with it. Like, how cool would it have been to do parts of the, like, one part of the Easter egg for every map that was featured and they all interconnect somehow. Like, maybe you had to build the lightning staff from Origins to turn on power on Mob of the Dead. But no, they decided to make a stupid collectathon like I'm playing Banjo-Kazooie. And it's all just the stupidest things you have to find. Some things that I swear, like, if you weren't, you would probably miss if you didn't take a second glance. But enough of that tangent. All I wanted to say was that this map could have been better. With that, there's one thing I like and dislike about each of the new BO3 maps. I might do another one going over all the Chronicles maps if you guys like this one. Or I might do a full review of the maps that I just did and go more into detail about what I like and dislike about them. Thank you guys for watching, and you can bash my opinions in the comment section below, and now I'm going to extend the length of the video with the outro. Bye bye.